Hello, I'm Lou and welcome to my art channel. I hope you guys are doing well. This week's video I have the latest Artful subscription box. This one's quarterly, so every 3 months. It's normally themed around a particular art supply or craft. This one is paint markers. As you can see on the front, you can see exactly what you're getting inside, but yeah, let's check out exactly what we've got and make some art with it. Oh, okay. So this is a first. They've used cut up cardboard to stop stuff from moving inside. Usually with these boxes they are kind of filled to the brim with stuff, so yeah, it's a little disappointing, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality. We have here the Artful HB pencil. I have quite a few of these already. It does seem to be a bit of a standard now that they include one of these in every box. And then right off the bat we have a bag with Artful logo on the front, and this is where the paint markers are stored. So let's get these out. Okay, got a few there. So we have here a nice selection of colours. It's quite bright. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have 10 markers in all. So I like the fact that the barrel is clear, so you can actually see the paint inside. Some of these do need mixing, so like you need to shake very well, pump it. But yeah, that's really cool to see. Actually, you get to see exactly the colour of the paint and how much is left when you're using it. That's cool. Be interesting to see if the lid of the colour matches the paint, but we'll swatch these out in a moment. I don't think I see a name of colour on these. No. Okay. But yeah, so they are the paint markers. We'll swatch those out in a moment. We also have 4 blank cards with envelopes. These are included in every box, so you just do your art on there and then send it off to a loved one, which is quite cool. We also have, for the first time, normally these are A4, but we have a pad, 20 sheets, 140 GSM with a slight grain, 17 by 24 centimeters premium cartridge paper. And it's suitable for pencil, watercolour pencil, pen, ink, calligraphy, pastel, oil pastel and light wash. So it'd be interesting to see how they work on this paper. It's not white, it's kind of off-white, like a creamy colour, and it does feel a bit flimsy. I wouldn't say it's the best paper for paint markers, but no, they could prove me wrong. We'll check that out. And we have advertisement, which I do not care for, so I'll chuck that away. And then we have the Artful magazine. So this is normally it just gives you a description of the art supplies, tips and tricks, and loads of artists like that use the art materials, and tutorials of how to use them, especially if you haven't used them before. But you can get a lot of inspiration from these magazines, and I do recommend giving it a good read, because there's some really cool art in here. And yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anything else. With these paint markers as well, normally you can work with them on various surfaces, not just paper, such as ceramics, glass, wood. So be interesting to see if they actually work on that as well. But yeah, there's a few different ways to work with them. Like I said, trainers as well, you can work on trainers. I don't know if they'll be waterproof, but yeah, well, it's really cool. So yeah, so that's the magazine. I'll just move that out of the way. So this is what you get in the box. I will leave a link in the description below if you wanted to get your own box, or buy a previous box as well, because they do do them every 3 months, every quarterly. And as I said, they are themed. There's different themes, either art supply like a paint marker or colour pencils, or it could be a craft like lino printing or screen printing. So if you wanted to give those a go, it's a good way of like trying something but not breaking the bank. So yeah, I would definitely go check it out. But yeah, so this is what we've got. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed with the amount that we've got in the box this time. They do also do upgrades, so you can actually buy more of the art medium. So they probably do have a set of other colours that you can add to this as well. I never bother, to be honest, but yeah, I wish they had more paint markers, to be honest. I think this is a bit minimal, but we'll check them out and see how they work and create something. So let's check it out.
You were the type that eclipsed the room. I was the one who arrived too soon. But no one would ever bet against us. If they saw us exchanging glances, I was too busy to fall in love. You were too busy to break my heart. Nobody else was there to stop us. Nobody else was there to warn us. Now we go on and on with this poor love song we've been working on far too long, baby. Do you still remember when our hearts tuned up spontaneously? On and on like a marathon, we keep running from fighting for something. Something to remind us that we're better than this poor love song. Too busy watching the TV screen. Now we're just betting on broken dreams. Nobody's gonna come and save us. We cashed in too many empty favors, yeah. Now we go on and on with this poor love song we've been working on far too long, baby. Do you still remember when our hearts tuned up spontaneously? On and on like a marathon, we keep running from fighting for something. Something to remind us that we're better than this poor love song. 'Cause I can stay till the morning, or stay till the dawn, but just hold me now. I wanna be so much better whenever you're around. I wanna say something clever to get in your mind. 'Cause right now we're not together, and I lose my way then. Oh, I feel so much better whenever you're around, whenever you're around. Yeah, yeah, whenever you're around, whenever you're around. Is it too late to feel you? Is it too late to tell you about how much I'm sorry for the things I have done, for the things I never did? But I promise, dear, I'll never let you go. So don't let go, get close to me. Oh, don't let go, get close to me. My body's waiting for you. I know your body's been waiting too. I wanna be so much better whenever you're around. I wanna say something clever to get in your mind. 'Cause right now we're not together, and I lose my way then. Oh, I feel so much better whenever you're around, whenever you're around. Yeah, yeah, whenever you're around, whenever you're around, whenever you're around, yeah, whenever you're around. Sometimes we act like a fool, not aware we're troublemakers. Sometimes we try to be cool, not being givers, only takers. Stop for a minute, stop and breathe for a minute. Don't get over your head, try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute, who you wanna be for a minute. Don't get over your head, you're like everyone else, aren't you? You could gain from being a bit nicer, know when to talk and when to shut your mouth. You're so moody, always such a fighter. Try to open up your mind sometimes, you'll be just fine. You'll be just Sometimes we yell when we're sad, and sometimes we laugh when we're afraid. Sometimes we smile when we're mad, and some lines we wished we'd never said. Stop for a minute, stop and breathe for a minute. Don't get over your head, try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute, who you wanna be for a minute. Don't get over your head, you're like everyone else, aren't you? You could gain from being a bit nicer, know when to talk and when to shut your mouth. You're so moody,
Okay, so we're at the end of the video, and these are the two illustrations that I decided to do. The first one being an aquatic creature called an axolotl, and the second one being a colourful chameleon. I'll start with my process first, and then I'll talk about what I think of these paint markers at the end. So I started off with this one here. So these are called axolotls. They're aquatic creatures, and I don't know why, I just felt like I wanted to draw them. So I found some references on Pinterest, which is my go-to place for references. I found a reference on a black axolotl and this kind of white yellowy axolotl. I very roughly drew out the two creatures, not exact. I didn't want to put too much detail into it because I knew that I'd be covering it with the paint markers. I used the Artful HB pencil that was included, and again just roughly sketched them out, and then started off with this one. I used three main colours: the dark purple, the violet and the pink. I used the dark purple first to block out the main body, and then the violet for the details, and then the pink for highlights. And I think he's super cute. You can tell it's an axolotl, I think. Yeah, very not rough, but not to detail, and that's kind of what I wanted. Seeing as these are paint markers, you kind of you don't need to go into great detail, but yeah, so I did that one first, and then I started on, and then went on to this one. I went from light to dark colours, so I used the yellow, the orange and the red. So I blocked out the main body with the yellow, and then I came in with the red and then the orange for highlights. And yeah, very happy with that. I really love the composition. I think it works quite nicely. It's kind of like a yin and yang kind of effect. I then coloured in the background with the turquoise paint marker, and this was the only one that I was slightly disappointed with, was the fact that it was very scratchy. I couldn't get a complete coverage with this one. You can kind of tell seeing the white paper through. Not to say that I'm disappointed with the art piece. I think it adds like texture and detail to the piece, so I'm not overly disappointed with that. It's just a shame that you can't get the same coverage as you would with the dark purple and the yellow, for example. So yeah, so I did like just blocked in around these little axolotls, and then I actually got inspiration from the cover of the Artful magazine, and to portray that these are aquatic, I did incorporate this white like water pattern effect to show that they are underwater, and then did these little dots as bubbles, which I think is super cute. And then just over the top, to break it up a little bit more, I then came in with the green paint marker, and did these little plants, and I think it works really well. I think the composition is quite nice, and yeah, I'm super happy with this one. Okay, moving on to the next one. Again, I found a reference on Pinterest. I very loosely sketched out the shape of the chameleon. He was holding on to like a flower, so there was a flower in front of him and over him and everything, so I just took that out and just have him holding on to like a stick or something. Yeah, so that it's not exact to the reference, but I didn't want to do that anyway. So I blocked out certain colours mostly with the green, the yellow and the red, and a little bit of the pink and the lilac in the tail, and then I kind of just went over the top with various different colours, just dots and lines, with all the other colours basically. Where there was shadows or dark areas, I used the blue and the purple, but yeah, I didn't go too mad with actual detail into this one. There are a lot of speckled dots and freckles, but other than that I haven't really gone too mad with this one. I love the fact that it's vibrant in colours. The paint markers work very nicely over the top of each other, they layer quite well. They don't lose colour at all. I think they're very, very opaque. Even the white is very opaque, which is quite surprising. So yeah, I then was in two minds about the background. I did come in with the turquoise paint marker again, mainly for like the texture. Knowing that it was scratchy, I kind of just went with that. And I was going to actually do loads of leaves behind the chameleon, but I felt like that would take away from how bright and vibrant and colourful he was, so I decided not to do that in the end. I'm still in two minds whether or not I should do a background, maybe with one of the lighter, like the white or the yellow, but I'm just not too sure with that. I feel like it would take away from how colourful and vibrant this chameleon is. But yeah, these are the two art pieces that I did. Overall, I think I'm very happy with it. I love this one more than the chameleon. I just feel like the composition is right. I think it's just a really cute piece. The paint markers themselves, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I think they are very, very good. I wouldn't say they're up there with the Poscas, but if you've never tried paint markers before and you don't want to spend that kind of money on Poscas, I would definitely recommend these paint markers. They are pretty close. It would have been nice to have had a black to go along with the white. I understand that we've got quite a selection of colours really. We've got like the rainbow of colours. It would be nice to have had more in this box, but I can appreciate that that's probably quite expensive to make these, especially with the clear barrel, so you can actually see the paint inside. But it would have been nice to have had a black at least, or at least have the white and the black in a smaller paint pen, a bit like the Poscas. You know, you've got your ones, your threes, your fives. It would have been nice to have had something like that in this one. But yeah, I can't fault them really. I think they are very good. You do need to keep shaking them to keep them mixed, and to make sure that you do get a solid colour, and they do recommend that in the magazine anyway. I don't know if you can get an upgrade. I did look in the book and it doesn't look like you can get other colours other than these, so this is pretty much the set I would say from Artful. But yeah, can't fault them. I think they're vibrant, layer quite nicely. Yeah. As for the paper, again, very pleasantly surprised. Considering when I initially said like how flimsy it was, I didn't think it would hold up with such a wet medium. They held up very well, this paper. Not once did it pile. So if you layer white paint on there and just keep doing it, it will like have this little peels of paper that come up, and it didn't do that at all. So I'm very, very pleasantly surprised. Even when I was taking up the washi tape, I find that some papers do rip off, and again it didn't do that when I was pulling off the washi tape. So yeah, I think the paper actually works very nicely with these paint markers, and I definitely recommend it. The one thing I will say is though, the paper, because it is quite thin, it does roll up, so I did have to roll it the other way just to try and flatten them out. So you will find that the paper does warp, but overall this box isn't actually a bad box. I do recommend it. I will leave a link in the description down below if you do wanted to get your own box. not sponsored or affiliated with them. I do buy these boxes every quarter with my own money. But yeah, I hope you like what I've created, and let me know if you will get your own set in the comments down below. For now, I will see you next time, so please do give me a like, share and subscribe. Take care. Bye.